She's a slut. This is voice, isn't it? Also, hello there, we're all here.
Too bad, Ann. I'm sorry. So what do you think of this anniversary?
I think it's great that they made 50 years. I think anyone making 50 years, it's great. I'll never have that opportunity.
And your thoughts?
On making 50 years? It's a wonderful accomplishment. It's hard to believe that it's 50 years, though.
50 years is a long time. And they got through it, and it's amazing. They've combated birds, squirrels. It's just a remarkable...
Woodpeckers galore.
Woodpecker, that's right.
A long time. Long time. And Don said he had 23 good years. I don't know what to...
With the same person?
20,
Whoa!
23 good years, yeah. I don't know, that's what he said. He wouldn't say anything more than that.
And Ray, what do you think of 50 years?
Well, I mean, I know some people that would say the first 2 years were good years.
20 Don,
I'm in fixed company. All right. 23 years is good.
And the question is, 50 years?
2 of the best years of my life.
The question I've been asking everybody is, 50 years.
50 years. That's actually long enough to have murdered him and been out of prison already.
What do you think, Audrey? 50 years?
It's a long time.
A long time.
I think marriage contracts should be up for renewal at 35 years. You should know when to turn it in.
That's great. So you think 50 years, is that a good amount of time to be married?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I told Christa today, you're the only one in the country that's married 50 years. And that's why we came to Jersey. In New York, that would never happen.
We went to a ceremony where my father-in-law was installed as a mason for 50 years. And he got up and he looked at everybody and he said, you know, really all you have to do to earn this is to live long. For our honor, what you have to do is live long and stay out of divorce court. Patience and tolerance.
That's
okay.
And the Catholic Church. I knew Priscilla in second grade because she was my teacher in second grade.
I didn't know they hired sluts for teachers.
Here I am, So, I'll start.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a place called Frank Jan's. It was an ice cream parlor in Richmond Hill, Queens. A place that Christa and I, at a young age, inhabited every day. Instead of going to the public library to learn our schoolwork, we went to the ice cream parlor. So one day, Christa said to me, I want to go to the senior prom. I said, well, how could you go to the senior prom? I said, how could we go to the senior prom where only juniors? And you know, the Gestapo that runs our high school would never allow it. She said, oh, no, I'm going to the senior prom. So I said, okay. So we go to Jan's ice cream parlor, which we went every day, as I said before. We sat down, and there was always this waiter, very tall, very skinny, with blonde curly hair, who really never spoke to us at all. Because we were like 16 and juniors, and he was like maybe a freshman at St. John's University. Oh. Maybe. But anyway, he just would serve us whatever the hell we asked for, and that was the end. So she said, that's the guy I'm inviting to the senior prom. I said, how could you invite him? He doesn't even speak to us. He doesn't even say hello. So she said, no, don't worry. So she writes a note and gives it to his best friend, Buddy Clifford, who was also a tall, skinny guy, not as good looking. And Buddy was going to give the note to Dawn. So days passed. I said, did you ever hear anything about this senior prom or going to the prom? No, it's fine. I said, what do you mean it's fine? fine. He doesn't. We go every day to the ice cream parlor. He doesn't speak to us. So and now you invited him to the prom, and he's going. And she said, "Oh yes, don't worry about it." So her mom, who was a wonderful, if you ever knew Adele, was a tremendous dressmaker, seamstress, beautiful, making this magnificent dress for Christa to wear to the senior prom at which we were juniors. Dawn never said yay or nay, nothing. So I finally said on the day of it, I said, did he phone you? What's up here? She said, no. So at the appointed hour of 7 o'clock, did Dawn arrive with the corsage at the house, and that was it. He never spoke to us. And here we have them, Mr. and Mrs. Donald O'Connor. You did that?
And I said, is Don there? His mother said, no, he left. He has a date or something.
She is.
Okay, I'll do the most recent story. And that is when Don went into the hospital. He was supposed to stay for a night. And Christa and I went in to see him be removed from the I guess the waiting room into the operating room. The first thing Christa says to him, he has this hat on that looks like a chef's hat, and it's aluminum. And she says to him, "You look really stupid in that hat." So then Don stayed in the hospital longer than we thought, and he had a brand new nurse, just graduated from nursing school. She was a young thing, and Christa and Don started in with their little conversation, and she was going back and forth and back and forth. And finally Don looks at her and he says, "Tell the doctor I want to stay here." The poor little nurse had to teach Don how to use the catheter. And she said to Christa, "Wouldn't you like to learn?" And Christa said, "No, I'm going to hide behind the curtain. And by the way, he'll have to change it in the garage."
Theo had invited me up to Roxitticus for dinner. And I don't remember who we ate with.
Before you were married?
Yeah.
Before we were
okay.
married.
We were
She
just
didn't have to
dating.
invite me after we were married.
That's right, I'm sorry.
And we were having our main courses. And this woman with a funny straw hat and a massive fake flower corsage on comes over to the table, whips out a fork, goes like this, and says, "That looks good," spears it, and leaves. And I used to feel, what in hell was that? That's her next door neighbor, Christa.
First met Christa and Don at a newcomer party over 30-some years ago. And I'll never forget it because no one ever said this to me. Christa came up to me and introduced herself, and I told her my name, and she said, "Oh, a guinea." We don't have any guineas in Bernardsville.
Oh my God!
And I said, "Oh my God, no one's called me that since I grew up in Garwood, New Jersey." I felt so at home. So I said, "My God, I love this couple."
He's very handy outside. He's a landscape type guy. So, we both had an acre to take care of, so I had a tractor, and then Don, I guess he was a little bit, I eat miffed, so he got a tractor too. Not the same kind of tractor. Now, he and I didn't realize, but we joined up to be landscape partners because on Saturday we were home from golf, and this was 1 o'clock. Don would get on his tractor, and at 1:30 he called me to come over to put the belt back on. It only lasted that summer. He never got the trick down. He never got the trick. So we were partners. I enjoyed
Great story.
every afternoon going over there because I go over and go zip.
I was as surprised as anyone to hear that my parents have been married for 50 years. Honestly, I didn't think my mother was old enough to be married that long.
How great is it?
It was only about 15 years ago that she told me she turned 40. Their 50th birthday shouldn't be for another 7 or 8 years. And yet, here you all are. When I look back at my parents' marriage, I think I can attribute their success to one thing, cats. C-A-T-S.
Oh, God.
There have always been cats in our house, and their presence has fostered an environment filled with the traits required for a long, stable relationship. Honestly, I learned the value of honesty with every stray kitten that we brought home to live with us. My mother would welcome it into the house by saying, "We have to keep that cat hidden from your father, or he will kill us." Honest.
We have to hide them.
Caring. I think you can get a true sense of my parents' care and nature by spending an hour at home with them. Simply count how many times they ask, "Where's the cat? Did you let the cat out? Who let the cat out?" The current record is 37. Love. I'll never forget the moment my mother looked at my father with love in her eyes and proclaimed, "Today, I gave each of the cats a middle name. Sidel Arlene, Heather Muriel, Bernice Louise." Compromise. My parents long ago worked compromise into their relationship. Every night, my mom allows the cat to stretch out on the couch, and my dad agrees to watch the game upstairs. So, I would like to congratulate my parents for making it 50 years.
I love it.
4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 7 cats. Ursula, Barnaby, Sidel, Heather, Bernice, Hector, and Harvey. Here's the 7 more. Cats, that is. Love you both. Matt, Angela, and the boys.
Oh my God.
But you know, it's a pleasure to be with and see what's so much camaraderie in the room. And you know, it says a lot for Don and Christa for the friendships that they've built up over the years. 50 years of being married, you know, and that they're still talking to each other. That's
yeah, it's a big deal.
Huh? It is. Barbara and I are 53, and Barbara says to me, the first 2 years were pretty good. So I thank you for having us here tonight. To be with such a crowd is a privilege and a pleasure, and on such a wonderful occasion. You know?
Happy anniversary.
You know me, for Christ's sake.
Happy